Hey everybody, happy Monday. Sorry it took me a little bit longer than expected to get this to you, but wanted to make sure it was done correctly and not just some shoddy like thrown together video for you. So I decided to do just a video and send it out to you guys individually. Was going to do a challenge group, but I figured this would be the quickest, most efficient way to get you the information and be able to help you with your mornings. So we're going to go through what are called lifesavers. This group is all about miracle mornings and about just making the most of every day. This is something I learned several months ago now from a book called The Miracle Morning by Hal Erod or Rod, however you say it, I'm not sure. But he basically walked you through what all the successful people do every morning. These are 6 things that most people who are successful do on a daily basis, most of them before 8 o'clock in the morning. The reason that they aim before 8 o'clock is because once the world wakes up, it's very easy to get pulled in a ton of different directions. But these things are all vital and important as far as growing and developing as a person, improving yourself as far as business, health, mentality, whatever, right? So when you do these, they start off your day, they give you a lot of energy, a lot of motivation. Essentially, it works with the law of physics that says the object in motion stays in motion, object in rest stays at rest. So if you get up and you hit the ground running, I'm sure you guys have found before that those days that you do, as soon as you get up and you start moving, you don't typically stop. It's a lot easier to continue moving, continue being productive, and making the most of your day once you do that. So without further ado, there are 6 of them, and they're called lifesavers. And savers stands for, silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. So, first things first is silence. Silence can mean a lot of things for a lot of people. Essentially, the point of this is to allow yourself to slowly wake up, not bombard yourself with social media and text and phone calls and everybody else's demands. It's time for you to get your brain on track to, focus on the day, to just get a really nice, calm start. If you've ever woken up in a rush and you're like, holy crap, I am so late, and you start flying around, it doesn't exactly set the right tone for the day. Because I feel like, at least for me, that throws off the entire rest of the morning, sometimes the day, if I just feel like I haven't gotten myself settled and got myself organized and really prepared for the day. So after you wake up in the morning, recommend washing your face, brushing your teeth, changing your clothes, whatever it is that gets you awake. Maybe it's grabbing a cup of coffee. These are the things I would recommend you do. So silence, this could be praying, reading scriptures, meditating, doing a little bit of stretching or like light yoga, just something where you're by yourself with your thoughts. Just let everything happen. Let it kind of come to you. Let your brain kind of wake up and start functioning. Me personally, I typically do my scriptures and prayers at this time. And all of these guys, just so you know, they can be as short or as long as you would like. I would recommend, if you have never done any of these in the mornings before, instead of making this huge, crazy lifetime overhaul, just starting with 5 minutes a day. Just for 5 minutes a day, do all of these, which adds up to a half hour. It's not much. You just get up 30 minutes earlier, and I guarantee you it's going to start your day off right. So for 5 minutes, you're going to want to either pray, meditate, yoga, stretch, something with silence. Do not get your phone by you. Do not turn music on. Just sit and relax. Just be in the quiet. After you've done that, you want to move to the next letter, which is A. It's affirmations, and it's really hot. Hold on. Where's my... Here. Got it. Woo! All right. So affirmations, there are tons of different studies on these, tons of different ways to do them. And you got to figure out what works best for you. There are some sample ones. It's on a website. It's called miraclemorning.com/bonuses. So if you go to www.miraclemorning.com/bonuses, there are sample affirmations there. There's morning affirmations, and there's also bedtime affirmations. Essentially, the point of these guys is to change your self-talk. A lot of us have, without even realizing it, a very negative, self-conscious self-talk. If you screw up a phone call, for example, you're like, well, that was dumb. And you're kind of joking, but your subconscious takes it seriously, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess that means I'm dumb. You've got to retrain your subconscious in order to change your conscious thoughts, your conscious actions, and thereby change your life. So this is essentially focusing on changing those things. And you want to make them simple. You want to make them pretty easy. The ones on the website, to be honest, they're pretty long, pretty exhaustive. I just read a book. It's called Unfuck Yourself. Sorry if you don't like the language, but it was actually 6 simple affirmations. It kind of goes through and breaks down chapter by chapter. It's, I am relentless. I am making the right choices, just things like that, right? So make them simple, but make them powerful enough that they affect you in some way, shape, or form, that they stir up some emotions for you. Once you have those and once you go through those, I recommend, number one, saying them out loud, number two, writing them down, reading them, like really mean it, right? But once you have those, once you go through those, then you want to visualize, like, what is your life going to be like when all those things are happening? This is the next step. I don't know about you guys. I am a very visual person. So I actually have a vision board in front of my computer that I'm staring at right now. It's got pictures of me when I felt I was at my fittest. It inspires me to keep going and trying to not only meet that again, but also possibly beat it. It's got two hearts on it with Katie and a question mark, so I have no idea who the heck I'm going to end up with. And eventually I'd like to end up with somebody, but it's not a huge focus. I've got pictures of some people that would be my ideal team members as far as the team that I'm building. I have what my income goals are on there. I've got some things that people have said to me that really pissed me off for greatness, that I'm like, you know what, don't tell me no. There's something on there with my dad. It says, you know, it never gets better. And I'm about to be like, nope, it does. So you got to put things on there that mean something to you. I even have pictures on there of my future house, my future cars, like what I'm expecting to have in the future. And when I look at this, I've got music on in the background that inspires me and motivates me to do really well and to just push hard. And it really gets me going every morning. Now, I also have my vision actually written out, and I separated it into 3 different categories. So I've got a vision for my personal life, my business life, and my work life. And I've got all of these things spread out. And it's not obviously all encompassing, but it's pretty good description of where I'd like to see my life in the next month, week, year, 10 years, whatever. So I recommend writing it out if you want to. You can read through it every day, just visualize it happening, but visualization is very important. It all comes from The Secret, which I'm not sure if you've read or seen. If not, please go read it or watch it. But essentially, it's the law of the universe, guys. Whatever you put out comes back to you, and it's all about just putting out the right type of energy, the right type of waves. And the energy that you emit is the energy that comes back to you. It's also subconsciously training your brain and setting it to go after those goals. Your subconscious is currently trained to whatever it is that you see actually physically possible or happening. But if you put in these pictures and you see all these images and you start focusing on what could be instead of what is, then your brain starts subconsciously making decisions to help you get there. So it's pretty cool. Next thing is exercise. I know you guys are all, exercise, that's awful, but it's necessary, and you're all smart humans. You know it's necessary. If you want to take care of the one body you have, you've got to eat right and you've got to exercise. This is not go kill yourself, go be drowning in a pool of sweat. Just get your body moving. And the whole reason you want to get your body moving is it gets your blood moving, it gets oxygen going to your brain, it gets everything woken up and alive, and just gets you really going for the day. I actually personally like to combine this particular exercise segment with my personal development. This one is where I walk my dog. So every morning I walk my dog and I turn on an audiobook and I get both things in at one time. She loves it. I love it because it gets her out of my hair for the day. And I also get to get in some personal development that tends to inspire me and get me thinking and moving and ready to take on the day. So this could be, once again, it could be walking the dog, it could be yoga, it could be stretching, you could do jumping jacks. I don't care, pull something off Pinterest, whatever. Or you can make this your full-on exercise for the day. If I did that, I'd have to add in like 45 minutes to my miracle morning, and I just don't have time for that at the moment. So I do it later in the day. But as far as the next one is reading. I kind of touched on that as well. Every next level of your life demands a different version of you guys, and the only way to become different is to change. And when you change, you're changing your brain, you're changing your body, and the way you change is by learning, growing, experiencing new things. So reading is super important. You know, if you want to read something about training a dog because your dog's being ridiculous, cool, awesome, read about it, because that's going to have a positive impact on your life as soon as you figure out how to actually train your dog. If you want to learn about money, read like a Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey or something like that. If you want to learn about your business, find a book about your business. Just crush it. Just pick something. Even if it's only a couple pages a day, that little bit is going to add up over time. The most successful people read on average 60 books a year. That's insane. That's more than a book a week. And I'm actually aiming for that personally. We'll see what happens. I'm a little behind. I think I can catch up with some audiobooks while I'm driving to North Carolina this weekend, but reading is so important. And I'll be honest with you, in high school, I hated it. I hated reading. It was not my favorite thing in the world, but I found that the reason I didn't like it is because I wasn't the one picking what I was reading. I was being assigned books. These things are all things I can get excited about, things I want to learn about. So pick a topic you're interested in. Find a book, find an audiobook, find something, and either listen to it or read it. You can also do podcasts as well. If you want a really good, inspiring podcast, I highly, highly, highly recommend Secret to Success podcast. It's by Eric Thomas. It's a gentleman who went from homeless to self-made millionaire, and he's a motivational speaker. Super down to earth, super kind, and hilarious as well. Highly recommend him. But the important thing with this reading, guys, is you have to apply what you read. If you don't apply it, the knowledge is completely useless. So make sure you're applying what you read, whether it means you're highlighting it if that helps you remember it, whether you're taking notes, you're doing a little bit, and then you're like physically acting on that bit every day. You gotta apply what you learn. So last thing is to scribe, aka journal. You gotta write. It sounds cheesy, I know, and people are like, I don't know if I want to take this, but it helps you to remember everything without bias. It's one of the ultimate forms of self-reflection. If you do it every single day, you'll remember things more clearly than if you try to remember them a week, 2 weeks, a month, a year down the road. The other thing with this is it helps you to look back and really gauge your progress and really gauge your growth if you're doing it right. There's tons of sample journals out there that you can go buy from a bookstore. They say, you know, your goals this week, or what was your daily task today, or something you learned. Like, there's tons of them out there if you're not sure what to write about, or you can free write. I happen to free write, and I make it very personable. It's like I'm talking to myself. I literally will start it out like, hey, how's it going? Like I'm talking to somebody via text, you know, but that's just what makes sense to me. It's what feels right to me. You can either do it by hand, you can do it electronically, you can even do it in a planner, guys. So I actually have 2 different methods that I do just because I'm kind of anal. But I don't know if you've noticed, a lot of people are like, oh, 2017 stunk. And I'm like, well, I actually think it was really good, but that's because I make a point to every single day. I write down, this is my sample for February, every single day I write down something positive that happened, something I learned, something that made me laugh, something awesome, even if it was as simple as I got Chipotle today, you know, something exciting. So write it down. That's the most simple way I can think of to journal, is to pick one sentence, one thing that happened, and just put it in a planner. Doesn't take long at all, but you can look back at the end of the year and be like, that was an awesome year. Grew a lot. So, my experience with this whole Miracle Morning, guys, like I said, I started all of these things several years ago. I do this, and then I added in probably about 10 or 15 other tasks that I want to do every morning before work starts, because if I don't get them done before work, I will not get them done at all during the day. But I started originally with just these 6 tasks, and I really loved it. It's made me not lazy. I can sit there and be lazy for about, I don't know, 8 hours, and then I'm like, nope, I have to do something, because if I'm not productive today, I don't feel like I used the day well. And it was a gradual change. It wasn't right away. Trust me, there were tons of days where I was like, I'm just going to sit around and stuff my face. I'm going to watch TV and do nothing all day long. But those days are gone. I came home yesterday from Alyssa's house, my friend. She was super awesome. And I was hungover, to be honest. I ate some food, watched a couple episodes of Grey's, and I was like, you know what? I need to do something with my life. So I got up and I did, you know, my exercise, my Miracle Morning stuff, my personal development, my reading, my scribing. Like, I just did all these things. And I was like, oh my gosh, it feels so much better. I feel accomplished. I didn't waste the day. And I was able to go to bed, like, with peace of mind that I was like, yep, I did everything I could with today. It's nice because it makes sure that every day I'm doing something to better myself, to get closer to my goals, to grow, to, you know, do whatever it is that I want to do. So I do recommend it. And it has also allowed me to grow in the sense that I've met new people because of my change in mindset, because of doing something productive every day and taking on more responsibility. It's also given me some really good ideas for work, guys. For example, there's a community I have where the cleaning is not going very well. I'll be perfectly blunt about it, right? And one of the books I read is called How to Win Friends and Influence People, and it talks about how people are much more responsive to positive compliments instead of negative complaints. And so I decided to try with my board members, hey, like, let's pick out 2 things that they do really well each week on the Wednesdays when they're there, and I'm going to send them compliments, and I'm going to try to get them to pick up the pace and do things by complimenting them instead of complaining about their work. So, well, now I'm joking, but I highly recommend doing this, guys. Once again, it's just 6 simple things. You know, sit in silence for a minute, do some affirmations, visualization, exercise, read, scribe. You can do them for as little or as much time as you want. I recommend starting with at least 5 minutes a piece. It's only 30 minutes a day. If you want to change your life, you've got to change what you do. Hate to break it to you, but that means work. But I can guarantee you it is so completely worth it. But wanted to share that with you. I hope you guys are having an awesome day, and I will talk to you later. Peace.